Recording.
Good evening. Welcome to the Hideaway Hills Management Committee meeting as of November 23rd, 2021. We have a pretty short agenda on for tonight, as was the next meeting. Next meeting, we will be interviewing candidates for the upcoming open management committee position. So again, we'll run a short agenda on that meeting. We have no invited guests, and all management committee members are present. Jeff, you want to walk us through the numbers?
Certainly. Capital fund total currently at $438,784. That was after recent funding, as in yesterday. And then depreciation fund totals at $476,975. Still waiting on this year paying for a fairway mower once we get word on when that'll be here.
Yeah. And we've got another fairway mower on order for maybe next year.
Hopefully sometime in 2022.
2022's Christmas present to maintenance. All right. Fund transfers. Jeff sent out the fund transfers worksheet showing what we are underfunded. Happy to report that cash flow has been good, and we are down to $5,000 underfunded, and that's just the employee insurance, which we can get caught up here in December. Hopefully, keep this completely funded. So, it's nice going into January and not really having to track this anymore.
Excellent work.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
I know it's gotten over 200,000 at some point.
Ugh.
That behind us. All right. Discussion items. First item, Lancaster Country Club golf course equipment.
Okay, so we had 5 items on our list for a total approval of up to or not to exceed $12,000. Got there the next day and everything was gone, either with the golf course, which had sold, or he'd sold it out from under us, with the exception of really one of the things we wanted the most, which was the verticutter. I think in that zero turn. I want to blank on the type of mower, but basically it's got finish mower with the verticutter blades. Which we got for $500 less than what he was asking for it, but we also got him to throw in another one that we just need to fix an oil leak on. So we'll have 2, which is great because our golf course consultant that came out a few weeks back strongly recommended that we verticut quite a bit more often than we're doing now. So that'll not only give us the opportunity to do that, but also to not have to change out the blades, which is pretty tedious and time consuming.
Yeah, the Lancaster Country Club originally got sold, and then some people from Lancaster pulled money together and bought it. So now they're trying to buy it back, keep some of their equipment, buy more equipment. So remain a golf course at some point. For it. That's the plan anyway. Any questions on that?
Mm-hmm.
Backhoe?
Backhoe, we finally received the trade-in value from the buyer with Caterpillar, and it was less than what the salesperson had professed that it would likely be. Rather than the $40,000 he had talked about, it ended up being $32,000, which is what they put in writing to us. So we are currently working with Case as well. They've come out, they've looked at the trade-in backhoe, and I'm told by Friday I'll have a quote and trade-in value from them. No luck with JCB so far. Okay. And again, John Deere, we all know what's going on there. So
they just can't get anything.
Not so far, no. At some point, maybe they'll feel confident enough to quote 5 years out. I don't know. No.
Okay. Security phone line's not operating.
Yeah, it's been out since Friday. I made a mistake. I thought Spectrum had already upgraded that one. They had not, so I was reaching out to Spectrum, but got a hold of Valtech today, and they're supposed to be working on it. That will be a spectrum line within the next couple of weeks, right after the office upgrade is taking place, which is scheduled for next Tuesday, and then they're working on the following week for security. So if all else fails, we'll have that line back by from today. But at this point, hoping Valtech can fix it. That is only the 4187 line. So there's I think it's 9589 line that you can dial and still get through without any trouble.
So it's a problem with our system, not with the phone companies, what you're saying?
Well, yeah, it's not like the switching station. It is something with that one line.
Do you have the capital list that you can present? Put up? Capital plan. All right, we've been hashing this around. We've been hashing this around for a few months. I don't think we're going to get any basketball court done this year, so that kind of has to kick to 2022. I'm pretty sure the asphalt plants are closing this week. Large electrical improvements, I don't think we're going to have any. Yeah. So that stuff could all kick.
The 18,000 was, I think that was in there for what we spent for the boring.
Yeah, we spent 16,000.
Was it 16?
Okay. Yeah, that'll stay in this year.
Yeah, that's the only thing that.
Yeah, and that was, I think that was like the first thing I put in there. So we got bids from them.
Yeah. So the rest of the stuff, I'd like to get this out to the board. We shared it with long range planning. I'll just send it at the same time. Yeah. Well, when I send it to the board, I'll send it to Ken Yost. I'll send it to a couple of committees. Start looking at, and it's kind of be an ongoing plan to kind of look at this, keep addressing it. But that's a 2022 plan right there. Two things in there. It's gonna be aggressive to get all that stuff done.
For that one?
Yeah, I don't have anything other on the capital plan unless anybody else does. I'll spend a little time on the depreciation plan. Good. All right, our beginning of our annual discussions on depreciation planning. People don't know, our depreciation plan is basically replacing all of our equipment, including maintenance equipment, roofs, well, mostly roofs, any type of restaurant equipment we have, septic systems, computers. Let's go back to the WebEx icon.
Look at that old box with a picture doesn't do it.
That?
Just click it
Just
now.
anywhere in there. Should. I thought.
Here we go. How about this?
Do you have these? You have those.
Backwards. We'll be talking backwards.
Stop sharing. You need to hit the stop sharing button up the
Is that
top.
what it is?
Yeah.
Oh
There we
my
go.
gosh. Hey,
Do you have the?
I do. I'm kind of afraid to do it now.
You might want to change the dates. It says updated through December 29th. Eventually want to change it and take off Randy's weather.
Oh yeah. And once it's official.
So what basically this year we spent money on the Jacobs Fairway mower. Going to buy a mule. It's kind of in process. It's probably about a 3-month lead time on that. And we did buy the Cyclone Buffalo turbine. Did the gas range you got in there said or replaced 2021? Probably ought to get updated costs in there just to have it on the list.
Okay.
That way, and then you can basically, take that, and if you put like a 10-year life on it, which I think is probably reasonable for a gas range, 10-year life, it'll kick it out that far.
Which is a long time of inflation rate. So
What?
10 years is a long time, so I bumped the price up.
Probably a good
Paid
idea.
3,200 this year.
Yeah, we just bought the char griller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so you get 6,000 for that. So if you sort that, then it'll kick all that stuff down, but it should put it over there. For the, if you copy the formulas, it should put it over into the right column. Next year, we've got the radio repeater, digital, Durbin Run controller, Jacobson Fairway mower, which we've already ordered, AEDs, front security gate, truck lift, freezer for the clubhouse, plus replacing the old security truck, the black one, and then a backhoe, what we've got going next year. Actually, looks like 2023 is like a pretty light year. I don't know if there's things in there maybe you could bump up. It's the biggest thing being
Did we just
the
take
mower.
things off or skip a year on some of the bottom things? Because I know we've talked about the irrigation on the golf course, and I mean, I'm just asking because that's pushed clear out to 25, and there's nothing in front of it.
The irrigation.
Down towards the bottom.
So, yeah, and it could be pushed up. Anything can be moved up. I mean, the existing irrigation should be on here. New irrigation systems would be on capital.
This is probably just going to be upgrades and maintenance, increasing size of pumps and things like that, which I assume is going to fall underneath irrigation, correct?
Chaz is logged in, but he said he's not feeling great. He just logged in. He said keeps saying the host isn't logged in yet.
Is he looking at the old one? Maybe
Linda was on. Linda was on.
Is on. I think.
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely bump up like some of the current irrigation.
Just some upgrades to it.
Yeah.
Well, we have the issue getting water and keeping the irrigation we have going, and there's been some discussion on pumps and things like that after we lost what we had this year. And
Yeah,
Do we?
well, it's existing, so
it's existing, but more of a bigger problem. I don't know where like that pump and line are actually on here.
Well, maybe what we really need to do is define what's going to be capital, other than just picking one list or another. What's capital and what's depreciation? Because as some of the things that they put on the capital list, words like roof repair,
Yeah.
and that, or roof replacements.
There's
So-
really no good rhyme or reason, to be honest. This was meant to be equipment,
Equipment, right?
and it's really meant to be equipment, like it's stuff like a lodge, roof really probably should be capital items, but it's never been truly defined other than.
so what if we change the name?
What's that list?
There's no hard reason why we have to call it
That way.
equipment, and it's really, it's just
Well,
equipment. It's different
And
kinds of
equipment is actually in the
Equipment vehicles.
name of it, I think. Yeah, actually, depreciation is actually abbreviated, and equipment's actually fully spelled out in the name of the thing. So
We just always
we just
called it
need
the
to.
depreciation fund, not that it needs to be actually called that.
Okay.
It's
Well, I
really
think when we get to
equipment.
the long-term planning piece of it, we start getting a better idea, and there's going to probably be where we add, and like you say, which side is it going to go on and where we cover.
Yeah, and frankly, I think as long as we're funding properly, and you can take that same combined total of two and do it however you want it. But as long as we're funding each one properly in relation to the other one, then yeah, it doesn't really matter where we put it.
Maybe,
Exactly.
maybe we think about, I like this because it's all relatively short-term needs, 12 years and below. I mean, the stuff on here is not going to last. A roof for the lodge could last 25 years
Yeah.
if you do it right. So to me, that's capital. And if you look at anything that's going to have a finite 12-year or less life, that's on depreciation, just because, and more for planning, not that it's depreciation. It's just,
Well, yeah, see that a to-do list, if you will, we
Yeah.
need to have, because now
Yeah.
Jim stepped into it and he was kind of at his beginning trying to figure out what had happened in the past. So
Yeah.
starting something like the to-do list kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you say, the funding's
Yeah,
in one way or the other.
be like,
But
"Oops,
somebody's
we
going
need
to
catch
say,
up
hey,
here."
when was the roof put on last night on the, security building? That's when the scramble goes and you try to figure it out.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff we don't have. I mean, this was done way before I ever came in this committee, but it's been kept up.
yeah, no, that's a good way of doing it.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with the list.
The way you gotta do it.
Stuff just kept getting pushed out. Afford anything, and now we're actually able to fund some of this stuff, but there's never been a defined reason to what you call what fund. Someone emailing me and asking me which fund, and it's not a really answer. Well, I think it should be this. Well,
As long as we don't call it the slush fund, right, Jim?
yeah, most likely.
Do we want to do something with irrigation now? Put the keyboard in, so. Put your fingers.
I don't care. I mean, I think it should be capital unless you're replacing the existing.
I just want to
stuff,
get
but-
something so we realize it's there because we've been blessed with rainfall. And doesn't mean 22 is going to rain.
Yeah.
And, they've got the course in such great condition. I really hate to see us lose what they fought so hard to gain themselves to. And that's why we kind of brought somebody in to help us. And then that's our limiting factor is water. Not enough when it doesn't rain and too much and not getting it moving away.
Yeah,
And I don't know that our costs on this, I mean, 5 years out are all that solid. I don't know how much that's been researched either. Probably wouldn't hurt to start getting quotes.
You're gonna have some money spent.
Yeah.
Right? We're not just gonna besides I hope not, right? And we want to make sure what we put in will work.
Yeah,
For a
the
long
and the
time.
pumps are enough to
Yes.
keep the volume and the pressure,
Yeah, I mean, the question just becomes: do you want the irrigation system to be on here, or do you want it to be on your capital? Big chunk on your capital. I know we had some on the capital fund, but it becomes a shuffling game. If you want to move that up,
Yeah. And I would argue that, irrigation system is going to should last you 25, 30 years or more as well. So maybe not the pumps, but the pipes in the ground, which I think would be the biggest expense. Yeah, it should last you a very long time these days. So I guess capital's probably
It was
the
just a
place to
question.
put it.
I saw it push clear out, and that's kind of why I wondered.
Yeah. So I think CapEx is the way to go, and then we can look at when we have it budgeted for.
I think we look at what long-range planning looks at and then kind of play with it and keep an eye on this. If you look, 2025 is a killer. Now that doesn't mean it's going to have to be. And I think that's why 23 and 24 were held back, because it looks like we got another dump truck and a backhoe
Chaz, I'm having to log back onto the computer. It froze up.
There we go. I got you now.
Okay. Give me just a second. I'm on my phone right now. I want to get back on the computer.
Okay. Has it been me the whole time? Or you guys having trouble getting?
No, we hadn't been had not been having trouble, and then all of a sudden I tried moving the darn mouse and it wasn't going anywhere.
Because I heard you guys, and then all of a sudden I lost you.
Where were we when you lost us?
I only heard like one word.
Oh, okay.
So the gate can come down, but they can't stop it. Yeah, come up far enough to stop it.
And guys, I'm sorry. I got this booster shot today, and I think it's having a little bit of an impact on me.
Oh man. There we go.
Thank you.
Oh, all right. I'm turning off my phone, shutting down my phone.
Can you still hear me? Yeah, I lost
Yeah.
you.
Sorry, I was muted. Can you hear us now?
Okay. Yep.
All right. So we're done with the capital and depreciation list. As we upped it, we're going to send the capital out to the long range planning committee and the board. And then Jeff is going to meet with Rick O'Neill on the depreciation list and come back to this committee with some priorities. Probably take that to the board in January, February timeframe. Just kind of share what we plan to purchase for the year. All right, Jeff, general updates.
Okay, really not a whole lot in our general updates. The portalets were removed last Friday. I understand they missed one at North Park. Rick said that you said something, Marty, to him about one missed at North Park. Is that?
Yeah, there was one still sitting up there.
Okay, so I reached out to him today and said, looks like they might have.
Yeah,
I didn't get
know
over
if we were
there.
keeping it up there all year.
No, I did double check with Sue to make sure it wasn't one of our permanent ones, but then I also
No.
found the invoices and it's not. So we won't pay for anything in November.
Okay. Lodge updates.
All right, there's more of the. Oops. Oh no, never mind. Covered that already. So Aaron will be out next week, Tuesday through Thursday, and then he's got a test on Friday. He's got renewing his serve safe certificate, which we definitely want it renewed. So he'll be out taking class at Tri County, I think it is, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the evenings, and then Friday the test is at 3:00. So after that, so we're going to be looking at a pretty limited menu because it's just the Aaron show right now in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be pizza for Wednesday and Thursday. So we'll run some great specials on beer or something.
We do subs or just pizza?
No, we haven't been doing subs. So
I didn't know if you
beer.
offer something.
Yeah, we might. Well,
Something.
I mean, I don't want to confuse people by offering it for 2 days either.
Just
So
take it away.
yeah. Site.
So that. Okay. So Friday you'll be here Friday night. Just have a lot of prep done.
Yeah. The test. I mean, when I took it, it was maybe. Well, that was 3 years ago. I assume they haven't changed it a lot. For our upcoming wine and appetizer event, we have selected December 9th. You said there was nothing on that date that food service was planning, correct?
Not that we've seen.
Okay. All right. So I've got that Thursday. So Thursday we'll do 6 rounds or 6 courses of appetizers and 6 different wines to try. So by the time's all said and done, people will have more than half a bottle of wine. So and when we call security to offer some rides home, we'll see. Charbroiler and flat top were received. I don't remember if I mentioned that at the last meeting or if they were here the last
You
meeting.
sent
but
us a
they're
beautiful picture,
here. Yes, there you go.
but it didn't have any steak on it.
Nope, that it did not.
Not yet.
Aaron's looking forward to doing a steak day, and maybe only steaks that day, but he'll look forward to doing a steak day. And then just a reminder, we know we covered it last meeting, covered it at the board meeting, but just a reminder that the lodge is closed. Lodge and Clubhouse are both closed Thanksgiving Day. Lodge is closed Christmas Eve for the chapel service, and then both are closed Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Food Service Committee is planning a wonderful New Year's Eve party on New Year's Eve that I'm sure we'll have
Our
our
best.
staff sleeping in the next day.
Do our best.
Gotcha. All right. Any clubhouse updates?
Nope, none.
All right. Anybody got anything they want to bring up for the discussion? Again, we'll be doing interviews for the management committee. I think we have 4 applicants. Be interviewing, so probably have another half-hour meeting next time, and then first one's scheduled at 7:30. So I got to reach out to the other 3, get those scheduled, do 15-minute interviews. Yeah. All right. We'll adjourn, and we got an executive session.
Jazz, we'll get you into breakout session here if you give me just a minute.
Okay.
Thanks, Baker.
Sorry we weren't too lively tonight.
Yeah. You guys got chips. You didn't get your money's worth.
You bringing the beer? Chance to do the sweater, huh?
Actually, great. All right, the other person dropped out, so I don't need to do that. I'm gonna
You
stop
didn't get much in any
recording.
time.